All right, so I purchased a mini heater from Aqueon. Now, online, I wasn't even able to confirm. Some say it's preset to 78 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit. Others say it's one of those heaters that just stay on. So I would like to confirm that before I even put it in my tank. So I'm probably going to put in a really tiny cup of water and see what the temperature is at, probably overnight, just to make sure that it actually maintains a certain temperature rather than continuously heating. And if it does that, then it would be nice to know for anyone else who purchases it online, because it seems to be a debate whether it does it or not. And there's nothing on here that says specifically whether it maintains a specific temperature of 78 degrees Celsius, because it just says commercial approved, and then the thermal safety shutoff, which only says it turns off once the product overheats, and then you have to throw it out. So I'm gonna be testing that out with this before I put it in my tank, and that's about it. If it doesn't work, then I'm obviously gonna return this heater. And I guess it'd be good for you guys to know as well. So that's about it. I'm just gonna open her up now. So this is the heater. Need the minimum water level there. 10 watts, up to 5 gallons. Now, a lot of people, or at least in my fish tank, I'm using this on a 5-gallon tank, up to 5 gallons. It's usually better to get a smaller heater than a bigger heater. For the reason is, if a small heater fails off, the same effect is going to happen if your big heater fails off. But if a small heater fails on, it's not going to spike up the temperature as quickly as if a big heater was to fail on. And failing on is 90% of the time much more deadly and damaging to your tank than a heater failing off. So it's usually a good idea to get the minimum size to keep your tank at your desired temperature. If you have a larger tank, that usually involves getting 2 heaters, 2 smaller heaters rather than 1 large one, etc. And this is the other thing that indicates that the heater might not have an internal thermostat, is this line right here. If the ambient temperature is higher than 78 degrees, such as during the summer, it is recommended to remove the heater. That indicates to me that it doesn't have an internal thermometer and it's just always on. That's why I want to confirm this by putting it in an undersized body of water and making sure that it either stays within a reasonable aquarium temperature range, or if it's just going to boil the thing. So this is what I'm most likely going to be testing it in. It is 1 liter, 100 milliliters, obviously undersized for what the heater is designed for. However, in theory, if it has an internal thermostat, it will turn off and the temperature shouldn't get too high. As you can see, this is just going to be the simple setup in a liter of water, and I'm just going to plug this into the wall. So this Aqueon mini heater is exactly what I thought it was like. I'll show you the temperature of the water right now. Guess I'll have to clean this so you can see it better. But the thermometer is reading right now about 30 degrees Celsius, and when I feel the heater, it's still on. So it's exactly what I thought. It's just a heater that stays on. It doesn't turn off once it hits a set temperature. So there's no way I would recommend such a heater. So the reason why I would not recommend this heater is because of my view of how a heater should be used. Um, from the way I see it, I view a heater as a way to keep a stable temperature. So for me, having a heater with an internal thermostat is important, and it's significantly more important than having an adjustable temperature. Running your tanks at a specific temperature isn't really important. So as long as it keeps the temperature the same, which usually is in 26 to 28 degrees Celsius range, it is perfectly fine. Which is exactly why I do not mind Tetra heaters, except for the fact that I had them two breaking me on me in less than 2 months, which caused my reef tank to crash. Is why I don't recommend them anymore. Having one fail is kind of like, oh, okay, it's a um you might have got a defective one, but having two fail is quite disappointing. So I just don't want to use them anymore. However, I'm perfectly fine with a heater that doesn't have a adjustable temperature on it. What I am not fine with, however, is a heater that does not have an internal thermostat, because it will fluctuate with the fluctuations in your room temperature. And to me, the purpose of a heater is to keep stable temperature. So if your room temperature rises, well, then the heat of the tank is going to go up, and if the temperature of the house drops, then the heat of the tank is going to drop, which is not what I want. And I recently purchased a high door heater instead. I've been just running it for a few days now. I'm gonna do an unboxing of that as well.